morning, folks. Today is July 26th, 2022. It's a Tuesday. Let's rock and roll. Welcome to episode 161 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Briefing. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next 30 minutes, I'll be delivering the top cybersecurity news stories of the day and providing my expert analysis on each of these stories on what it means to you as a practitioner, or if you're looking to break into the industry, you're going to get some value out of this stream. Let's do this. Shout out and thanks to this stream sponsor. Right there on the bottom of the placard. Mic volume is really low, huh? Let's investigate this. All right. So my slider's all the way up, so that's not going to happen. Let's juice the gain a little bit. Juice the gain. How's that? How's that? Is this cranked? Is this cranked? Shout out to this stream sponsor, Barricade Cyber Solutions right there. Cyber criminals have stolen your company's data and derailed your business operations. Barricade Cyber Solutions will help you resolve this ransomware attack and get your business back on track. I want to remind you, if you hold professional certifications that require CPEs, like CISP, CISM, CISA, each episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Briefing is worth half a CPE, so 2.5 a week, roughly 10 a month. Be sure to document literally the easiest and I would argue the most enjoyable way to earn CPEs. And the best way to document that, the action to take, is to drop a comment in chat. Say, what's up in chat? Say hello, say I'm here, say what, just say anything. I mean, you could say a bunch of stuff. You can engage till your face goes numb in chat, but at least you say something once. Where you at this morning? Or if it's this afternoon, where are you at? You in Europe, Asia, Saudi, Iran, Australia, New Zealand, Poughkeepsie, Scranton, wherever you're at, say what's up. And then you'll have unequivocal forensics evidence that you were here, because it's going to get burned right into the stream right over there. If you're live, love it. Thanks so much for being here. I see 58 of you, and I can't wait to say good morning to each of you after the intro here. If you're watching on replay, hashtag team replay in the comments. Let us know that you watched on replay, plus you get credit for those CPEs. Want to thank you for catching the stream, making it work for your schedule. Also, quick reminder, we are pushing the stream, the audio of this stream, directly to an audio podcast right after the stream ends, so about 9:15 a.m. every weekday morning. So if you'd prefer to catch it in audio format, subscribe on your podcast app of choice. And I think when I publish it, whatever, you'll get notified. You can go to simplycyber.io/podcast for more information. If you are watching on replay and you don't want to do the pleasantries and skip right to the news, when this placard changes, it'll be about 90 seconds from now. We'll be into the news. If you're listening on audio, just hit jump 3 times and we'll be into the news. But as I said, for the next 90 seconds, one of my favorite parts of the day, welcoming each of you into the stream. Good morning, Miranda McCurdy, Jacob Small, good to see you. Hey, Carrie, always good, a regular on the streams. Kimberly McKnight with a great Cybersecurity Central video published earlier this week, Sunday or Monday, discussing how she broke into the industry. So if you're looking for some inspiration, if you're looking how it can actually happen instead of what, I don't know, some kind of like pie in the sky dream sequence looks like, what you want to see when you really, put in the work, do all the things that we're always talking about, and how it can materialize into breaking into the industry. Kimberly McKnight, Cybersecurity Central. You can catch it on YouTube and LinkedIn. Jake Rice's CTFD score blew up. Very nice, Jake. Jake Rice, guys, if you're interested in basically joining kind of a gig economy type pool of hackers, like, I'm not even doing it fair. Jake Rice in chat right now. Maybe connect with him. He's basically trying to assemble a group of people who are interested in CTFs, and then whenever they're going to enter one, they can just crowdsource a team real quick of like-minded professionals who want to do CTFs instead of figuring it out. Great idea, Jake. Very happy for you. Look forward to that. Speaking of CTFs, Trace Labs is doing a CTF in Vegas. I'm not sure if it's invite only. I do know that Base Case in chat is putting together a team. I might be competing. I think I missed out on the on the team signups. But if I might be an alternate, I don't know. I'm pretty excited though if I do get to compete in a CTF in Vegas. All right, Axiom Brevity's in the house. Hey, Karen Peterson, good to see you. Another great story from Karen Peterson. Anna Lynn, I see you, Anna. Thanks for the squad support, guys. All right, you know, it's day 2 of my new audio setup. I think I got the sound beats working. Let's do a quick spicy. Chat, let me know. Spicy! Holy jeez, that's wicked loud. Wow. If that was too loud for you, let me know, because that just nuked my ears, guys. Also want to remind you that we will be doing a giveaway all week, including today, for a World of Haiku license key. World of Haiku, the futuristic set cybersecurity game that is entertaining and educational, teaching you some skills in the cybersecurity space. Just released. We will be raffling off a license key, so be sure to check it out. Be sure to stay with us, obviously. Hey, Pamela, good to see you. That was too loud. Was it too loud? I can goose it down a little bit, guys. Let me goose it down a little bit. Line in. Hold on, ready? Let's do this. This is 75%. It was 100 before. That at least doesn't make my ears want to bleed. Let me know in chat if that's good. Oh, you gotta be joking me with this. Okay. Guys, I gotta get a new computer too. I pushed my current computer yesterday very far to the edge, playing World of Haiku. Not that the game is so demanding, but I was encoding the stream. I was pushing stream. I was trying to do chat. I was playing the game, running the Steam client. Needless to say, my little Dell XPS was like, please, boss, no more, please, just do word processing on me, do Excel spreadsheets on me. You're supposed to be a GRC analyst. You're supposed to be a CISO. What are you doing with all this high-intensity graphics power? So, might have to get a new machine. All right, guys, make sure your coffee's ready. 15-second countdown. I've got my cup. Saw the Minions movie last night with the family. Good times. Not the best one in the franchise, but definitely set itself up for, several future movies, to put it plainly. Oh, yes. Guys, make no mistake. There is no faking Starbucks French roast. I swear to God, you could put a blindfold on me and give me 40 cups of coffee, and I will tell you exactly which one is this one. That should be a sin. All right, guys, let's get into it. Oh, no, Pamela. Decaf only. Run for the hills. Okay. Yeah, we might do a game in PC. I'll tell you guys really quick. I thought about this. I don't have a ton of cycles, but I could see a reality in about 2 years, because I don't plan on stopping what I'm doing. But in 2 years, I think I might get a lot more free time. Okay, so kind of projecting a little bit, 2 years. If I were to start another YouTube channel, I'm going to do one called Simply Cyber Games, and it will be a channel just for live streaming cybersecurity only video games. This is how much I love cybersecurity. I would do a game channel, but exclusively on cyber. Threat Gen Red vs. Blue, World of Haiku, Hacker Simulator, Cyberpunk 2077. I don't care, but it's got to be cyber. It's got to be games. It's got to be fun. I'm all in. Look for it. Couple years. That's quite the tease. Yeah, we're giving away a Haiku license later in the show. So let's get into the news, guys. Okay, let's get into the news.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
Hopefully you can hear that.
It's Tuesday, July 26th, 2022. LockBit hits Italy. The Italian news agency ANSA reports that authorities are investigating the theft of 78 gigabytes of data from the country's tax agency.
Oh,
LockBit 3.0
are you serious with this?
took credit.
Are you serious? You can't hear this? Hold on 1 second. It's at like level 0.5. Okay. All right. So you guys. Okay. Hold on. So you can hear it. It's just the volume's low. I got you. Let's do this. Ready? Check it out. I've got 4 sliders.
For the attack on its leak site, saying it obtained.
Hold on.
100
We'll get this sorted out.
Scans and financial reports from the agency showing screenshots as evidence. According to Palo Alto, the theft of 70
Security headlines.
How's that?
It's Tuesday, July 26th, 2022.
How's that? I think that's good, right? Yeah, boy.
LockBit hits Italy. The Italian news agency ANSA reports that authorities are investigating the theft of 78 gigabytes of data from the country's tax agency. The LockBit 3.0 ransomware group took credit for the attack on its leak site, saying it obtained 100 gigabytes of documents, scans, and financial reports from the agency, showing screenshots as evidence. According to Palo Alto Networks, LockBit accounted for 46% of all ransomware-related breaches in 2022 through May.
All right.
Quantum cybersecurity.
So, classic starter pistol off. Jerry falls flat on his face out the gate. Trying to get this set up a little bit. We'll continue to work on it, guys. I've got the slider all the way to the top. I'm suggested setting the gain up, but the gain is only from my mic that I can find, and I can't adjust anything else. We will sort this out later, guys, okay? So LockBit, LockBit is kind of like the new, I don't want to say new kid on the street, but LockBit's certainly been in the news quite a bit lately. It looks like they're hitting Italy. I apologize. Hopefully you guys listened to it. I was trying to do some production stuff. I don't even know what SOA SPA. LockBit 3.0. See, yeah, LockBit 3.0 2019. This is the one that is written in Rust. That moves incredibly quickly. PA Networks 42 is reporting in on it. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of like punt on this story. Long story short, guys, LockBit's a nasty bit of ransomware. You might be able to look at MITRE ATT&CK TTPs for LockBit to test whether or not your organization is a little bit more resilient for defending against LockBit and being able to recover. I guess the key takeaway to give you some value. Thank you, BSEC, for linking to PA42 in the chat. Guys, there are... okay, so on the show, I'll talk about like, vendor report release that, every single cyber attack starts with email, right? And then you find out that it's like an email company that wrote the report. I will tell you, there are a few what I would call high quality, high fidelity threat research groups out there. Unit 42 from Palo Alto is definitely one of those. Like BSEC dropped a link. Whether it's this story, whether it's any story, they are awesome. Google Tag Threat Analysis Group, they are really, really good too. I like them. Cisco Talos, I used to like. My interest has kind of waned on them over the last couple years, but this daily threat briefing is good. But if you want of a more technical kind of unpacking of how and like the technical specs of what's going on, the Unit 42 and the Google Tag are excellent resources.
Security bill heads to the Senate. Earlier this month, the bipartisan Quantum Computing Cybersecurity Preparedness Act passed the U.S. House. The bill mandates that the Office of Management and Budget supervise the migration process of federal agencies to post-quantum cryptography. OBM would work off of recommended post-quantum cryptography standards and keep Congress informed of progress, as well as any new risks and needs for additional funding. The bill now heads to the Senate. It's received support from Google, IBM, and other tech companies working in the nascent quantum computing field.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Imagine, like, did you hear that? How's that even a thing? Like, the bill is supported by Google and a few other niche businesses that are in the quantum space. Yeah, obviously, they're the ones helping shape the bill. They're the experts that are informing the legislators. And, oh, by the way, I'm sure they're in a position to financially profit from any legislation that requires the utility of quantum computing that they're selling. Again, normally I get a little fussy britches when it comes to I'm an advocate of capitalism. I think capitalism's a good thing, but sometimes it can be exploited. This is one of those times where I don't feel like it's exploited, right? I mean, there's very few companies doing it. So in order to make the legislation actually have real life value and merit, you need those industry experts to comment on it and then obviously set themselves up for success. So not super mad about this. I will say that I do appreciate that the federal government is making what I would consider material progress in cybersecurity legislation. Now, I know some people are more libertarian and they're like, the feds don't need to legislate everything, big government, all these things. But when it comes to cybersecurity, they're setting policy and tone at the top, and it's just like a business, guys. And if you're new here or like you're new to the industry, this is something you should know. And if you're new here, you probably haven't heard me say this yet, but this is a fact. At a business, the tone at the top is so important. So how does management, what is their meta about cybersecurity? Is it a checkbox compliance thing? Do they do what they want when they want, or do they follow the rules too? Because whatever leadership's doing, whatever the executives are doing, will push down to the workforce. It's just a reality, and the same can be said for the United States as a entity or as a business. Whatever they're doing at the federal level gets pushed down. It sets tone, it sets direction. States then follow suit in some instances, or it helps. The federal government says, like, we're marching this way, right? And it's like a vector. Okay, we're marching this way. So maybe states don't march the same exact line as everyone, but they're all walking in that direction. So all of this legislation, Obama had some, Trump had some, Biden's got some. I really feel it's great for our industry.
Windows adds brute force defense. Windows updated the defaults on Windows 11 Insider Preview builds to now automatically lock accounts for 10 minutes after 10 invalid sign-in attempts. Vice President of OS Security David Weston said this is meant to mitigate attacks using remote desktop protocol and other brute force password vectors. Microsoft does warn that this change may result in denial of service attacks on open RDP ports. If this setting sounds great to you, you can already use it in Windows 10. It's just not on by default.
OMG. I wish I had oh my God, I wish I had a sounder for this. I don't use this one very often. Oh, that's so soft too. Oh, guys, the Ryu Fireball is the best I can do. This is like the opposite of an RDP ransomware story. Like this is awesome. This is awesome, guys. RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol, port 3389. There's no reason at all to have this listening on the internet, right? RDP can be used for remote administration. Oh, Jesus. Just lost a light here. I got all frothed up and excited and I knocked a light over. God, this studio. Okay, so listen, Microsoft RDP, wicked awesome, but it should only be used internally if you have to use it at all. There's nothing wrong with BSEC being on his own network and then jumping into Carl's machine to help with whatever via RDP or any remote desktop protocol. I don't care if you're using VNC View or whatever. The problem happens when you start to introduce external networks interfacing, so internet-facing devices, right? You're at Carl's at Starbucks now and RDP's listening. Typically, it's brute force, right? I mean, yes, there was a Blue Keep vulnerability that could have been exploited 2 years ago. You could Google that if you want. Yes, you could have pushed through, but for the most part, RDP gets broken through either brute force or password dumps, right? A lot of people use, like, if your password right now is summer 2022 ! Guess what? Bad guys can guess that just as easily as I just said it. It's like a magic trick I just did, but in reality, people are bad at making passwords. So it's easy to brute force it, right? Most humans, here's a spoiler alert, you can pull this magic trick out of your hat at your next security awareness training. Most people, humans, this is your password. Capital letter, collection of lowercase letters, a number, either 2 or 4 digits, and then an exclamation point. That's like 70% of people's password. That regex I just explained, right? It's not magic, man. People make bad, like, passphrases. You know what? Okay, so I'm on a mission here. Cyber resiliency is what the industry should be called, not cybersecurity. I'll never unseat cybersecurity, but cyber resiliency is where it's at. And then the word password needs to be put next to Internet Explorer in the graveyard, and the word passphrase needs to emerge as the victory royale winner for, like, what we say as an industry. Again, very difficult to unseat the word password. definitely impossible to unseat the word cybersecurity. But I'm just saying, if you use passphrase, brute force attacks aren't going to work. This is awesome. They said it's available on Windows 10 automatically. You can enable it. I would recommend, I might even do this as a exercise on LinkedIn and YouTube as a post later where I post a screenshot of exactly how to do this because this is awesome. Way to go, Microsoft. Like slow clap. Woo! I am going to hit spicy. Only because I got so excited I knocked my lighting setup or one of my lights over. These things happen, guys. It's a workplace hazard.
Google working on Chrome's GDPR compliance. The Dutch Ministry of Education imposed restrictions on the use of Chrome OS and the Chrome browser in schools over concerns that how Google stores and processes student data violates GDPR. Schools can still use Chrome, but must implement additional measures to protect student data. In a letter to the Dutch Parliament, the Minister of Education said Google promised new versions of Chrome next year that would resolve GDPR concerns in education. This also comes after the Danish privacy watchdog banned the use of Google Workspace and Chromebooks in the municipality of Helsingør over concerns about data transfer rules.
All right, so guys, we are seeing GDPR. So in the United States, we don't really have great privacy laws. And we have some, but not anything like Europe. And GDPR, again, putting teeth to the policy. In this story, they're talking about Google Chrome. It's being used. Google really attacked the academic market, K through 12 space. I don't know what they call it in Europe, but essentially elementary school children, right before college or university. And they did a great job with it. But because of GDPR, I'm kind of actually surprised it took this long. Legislators are pushing back and saying, hey, you collect way too much data. It's not compliant with GDPR. Students probably don't have the ability to be aware of what you're tracking. They probably don't have the ability to decline being tracked, all these things. So one thing that Google's doing, it sounds like the juice is worth the squeeze, if you know what I mean, for Google to be in that European market. So they are going to upfit Chrome, maybe for a European version, maybe for all versions, to comply with GDPR and offer these type of privacy conditions. It will be interesting. Again, privacy is slightly overlaid in information security, so I do care about it, just not as much as I care about cybersecurity. It will be interesting to see if Google releases a forked GDPR compliant or a European edition of Google Chrome, simply because obviously Google's collecting whatever data they're collecting that's violating GDPR as some type of business asset. So if they can still collect it on US citizens and it's at value to them, why would they stop doing it in order to comply with European law? You know what I'm saying? So it will be interesting if there's a forked version or if they disable things by default on the US version, stuff like that. Yeah, so Hamza is asking if GDPR policy can force the hands of big tech companies. This is what we're seeing already, Hamza. Google is going to be changing the way Chrome works. And I do appreciate that European Union was legit with them. They said they would change it next year. You can't just recklessly go in and change some stuff and see if it complies. It does take time. You do have to roadmap it and figure out how it fits into the bigger production. And really quick, as Hamza's asking, we saw a story in early February. If you guys have been fans or following the Simply Cyber Daily Threat Briefing for a while, in February, Facebook and Meta via Facebook and Instagram was getting pushback regarding GDPR and the tracking and all that. And they actually decided they were going to pull out or stop, if you guys remember, right? So that was a business decision. We commented how the cost of implementing these GDPR compliant controls obviously didn't have the return on investment that they would be making off the assets of the data of the citizens. Guys, it's all about the money, right? What's it about, Randy?
Straight cash, homie.
That's right, straight cash, homie. Guys, it's all about money. Whenever businesses are making decisions, yeah, sometimes they can spin it in good light, we're doing it for philanthropy, we're doing it for climate, and they might be, right? They might be, but chances are they're also benefiting financially from it. Businesses are for profit. Again, it's capitalism, right? Most businesses do not make a business decision that negatively impacts financials. It's very uncommon. All right, let's listen to CISO Series promo.
And now, thanks to this week's episode sponsor, Sneak. Developers want to code fast, and security wants to ship securely. And that's why they both choose Sneak. Backed by industry-leading security intelligence, Sneak provides real-time scanning with automated fixes and remediation advice right from the tools and workflows developers use. Code, dependencies, containers, cloud infrastructure, all of it. And while developers are building securely, Sneak gives security teams a bird's eye view of all of their projects so they can prioritize and focus their efforts in the right places. Developer tested, security approved. Start your free Sneak account at sneak.co/cybersecurity.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks to CISO Series for the the advert for the Sneak. Just as a quick aside, I've worked in developer spaces, both as a developer and as a security person. And I'll tell you what developers don't want? Security people having a bird's eye view of their overall project and getting up in their weeds. What developers want are, what are your security requirements? Now leave me alone. They definitely don't want you all up in their biznatch. I mean, you still have to get up in that in order to do your job well, but yeah, exactly. So real quick, Matt Admin, I want to shout out what's up, Woo, right? The Woo. I do love the Woo. It's been a minute, but I do love them. All right, guys, let's talk about World of Haiku for a hot minute. World of Haiku, it is came out this week, cybersecurity, near future, kind of like Cyberpunk 2077, but PG version. And it is an educational platform. So it teaches you, I've only played a couple levels. It's been basic Linux operating system interfacing. So if you'd like to learn a little, like if you don't have any exposure to Linux and you want fun story arc, this is pretty cool. It's on Steam right now. I spoke to the CEO of the company yesterday, Eric Basu. Great guy, Navy SEAL, very cool. He told me kind of what the roadmap was for World of Haiku. They have some short-term plans, including releasing free downloadable content in September, kind of like levels to add to it. Some other stuff that's coming up that I'm not allowed to talk about right now because of NDA, but I'm just telling you, they have got some really cool stuff coming out. And I played this game on stream. I'll be playing it on stream a few more times this week and next week. So if you're interested in seeing that gameplay, hit the bell, or hit subscribe, then hit the bell for notifications, and it'll tell you. Because I might only tell people like with an hour or 2 hours worth of advance notice that I'm going to be going live. But yesterday we had a great time with everybody in stream playing. So we are going to raffle off a license key right now. So guys, here is it. I've got high hopes here. The keyword today is haiku. Haiku. You can see the word haiku right here on the top. Haiku. Haiku. Enter the word haiku to enter the raffle. We are raffling off one license key every single day today. There you go. Jordan Y knows what's up. We're raffling off one license key a day for the World of Haiku. It is good times, people. Available on Steam. If you don't end up winning, but you do want a copy, you could pick it up on Steam, World of Haiku. I do have, I have a link that I can provide. I'm not like an affiliate, so I don't get, affiliate fees or anything by clicking on the link, but it would tell people that Simply Cyber sent you. I don't have the link now, though. Of course I don't. So I'll provide that. You can just go on Steam and Google World of Haiku, or not Google, but search for World of Haiku. You'll find it. Also, really quick, while we're queuing up, I want to let people know that tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. on ThreatGen's YouTube channel, I will be playing live Red versus Blue. I will be a blue team operator, meaning I'll be stepping inside a cybersecurity simulation platform, operating as a CISO, building my own information security program from the ground up. I'll be explaining my moves. Okay. I'll be explaining my moves and why I'm making the business decisions I'm making in the cybersecurity simulation platform as an active adversary artificial intelligence attacks me via the red. My model this week will be the NIST cybersecurity framework. So if you want to learn about the NIST cybersecurity framework, why it's awesome, come on by tomorrow at 11:30. You can find it at youtube.com/threatgen. The title threatgen is at the top of the promo card. You can see it right there. All right, let's keep rolling.
Google gets closer to acquiring Mandiant. According to a new regulatory filing from Mandiant filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Department of Justice approved its action by Google and waived the mandatory merger waiting period. This waiver was apparently a condition of the sale. Google announced plans for the acquisition back in March and will put Mandiant under its Google Cloud business unit. At $5.4 billion, the deal marks Google's second largest acquisition ever, only behind its 2011 purchase of Motorola Mobility for $12.5 billion. Mandiant expects the deal to close by the end of 2022, but may be blocked by a shareholder lawsuit filed in April. Instant loan scams plague.
All right, well, this was big news story. This was a big news story when it was announced not too long ago. Yeah, March right here. $5.4 billion, obviously a lot of money, purchasing Mandiant. So if you guys don't know, and with all the love and respect for Barricade Cyber Solutions, Mandiant is kind of like the enterprise corporate, 5,000 person incident response company. You will typically see, this is another one for people who are new to the industry, you will typically see when there is a big, splashy cybersecurity incident, Mandiant is the one that gets called in. You'll see like, oh, and Mandiant, Mandiant's doing the briefing or whatever on what happened. Colonial Pipeline, Baltimore government, Atlanta, these kind of big ones. It's just common. Mandiant's got, they kind of grew out of the FireEye brand. They're known for their incident response. They've got great, processes and procedures, great staff. It is definitely a, platinum, forensics company or incident response company. So Google's acquiring them. Again, yeah, I've worked with Mandiant myself. They are professional. I've worked with FireEye. They are professional. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I have had great experiences. I guess the fun thing to do here is to really muse about what Google's long-term play is with Mandiant. Maybe some folks have dug into it a little and they have some theory. I do not. All I could think of is, I guess why would Google want an incident response company? Here's the thing. Incident response is professional services. Google is a software company that, makes most of their money off of marketing and advertising, right? So it doesn't seem like it necessarily aligns perfectly, but I guess the one thing I'm thinking of is Google's trying to make a push into cloud, right? I mean, obviously they have Google Cloud and they do Google Workspaces, and we talked about the K through 12 earlier in the show, but Azure is unmistakably the business solution. Google has Google Workspaces, which is a comp, right? It's comparable. It doesn't have the market share that they have, but Google has something that can legitimately compete with Office 365. My only thought is that they're acquiring Mandiant in order to offer a complete holistic managed incident response or managed security services as a service as part of their office or as part of their corporate service package, right? So let's play it out for a second. You can go with Google or you can go with Microsoft. And Microsoft is Exchange Online Protection, great email, great security gateway. Google's like, hey, don't worry. Not only do we have good protection controls, but we also provide detection and response and recovery controls as well. What do you think about that? Hey, business, why don't you not sweat hey, business, why don't you not sweat cybersecurity? We got you. We offer business services, so IT as a service, and we offer InfoSec as a service, right? In my mind, that's the only play. Because, dude, $5 billion for a professional services company that doesn't align to what your main business product offering is doesn't make sense. But you know what does make sense? Google making tons of money because they've done it time and time again. They took YouTube, which used to be like a tutorial lookup site, and turned it into like the #1 site in the world, which they make way amounts of money, right? So that's what I think is the deal. That's what I think's the deal. They're going. So here's my thing. Look for 2023, like daily cyber threat briefing, mid 2023. Google announcing that they're going to start offering cybersecurity services as part of their monthly fee that gets you business services. And then by 2024, early 2024, insurance companies are beginning to offer better premiums if you move off of Office 365 into Google Workspaces. And then end of 2024, there's a legit 1A, 1B for that. Or 2024, Microsoft has acquired a professional service company or built it internally and are offering a comparable service. Hot takes.
Mexico. In Mexico, more than 100 instant loan applications have emerged, which exfiltrate data from victims and are used by Monte de Duas, a form of organized crime for extortion. After requesting the loan, the Monte de Duas demand advance payment. This is followed up using networks like Facebook, Twitter, or WhatsApp to dox the person who requested the loan, as well as their relatives and contacts, publishing exfiltrated media from the victim, and even sending edited photos of pornographic content with the face of the victim. 35 of these applications are available in the Google Play Store. The Congress of Mexico City has requested the investigation of these applications by local investigators. Uber.
That is deplorable, but as gross as it is, man, this is a classic scammer's gonna scam, criminal's gonna criminal, okay? So, what's if you're gonna be a criminal for financial gain, first thing you gotta do is identify a target. Who's your mark? What's the goal? What's the score? What's the play? In this case, like extortion. And the worst part is they're taking advantage of people who are already down, already marginalized. So, here's the deal. And there's a bigger macro story here as well. Here's the deal. Me, Pamela, Kimberly, and Base are going to Black Hat DEF CON. And between the four of us, we've got $18. Not enough to send us, okay? We don't need a $100,000 loan. We just need, like a $250 loan so the four of us can get bus tickets, okay? So we can use this little micro loan app, which there are legitimate ones, in order to request the money. Well, just like everything else, in the Google Play Store, doesn't do a great job of screening all these things. Clones pop up, fake apps. You got 50 different options when you type in microloan app on Google Play Store. You choose one, you're more than likely to hit one that's a scam, looks legit. Even the code base is probably legit because it's not malware. It's the service on the back end that's exploiting your trust in what the service is. You put in all your personal information because you're putting in for a loan, including your face, and then you're basically giving bad guys your data, right? So then they extort you. Here's my thing, like take your face and then stick it on a naked person. I guess that could feel violating. I know with some of the deep fake stuff we've seen celebrities get deep faked onto adult film stars, and they, obviously feel violated by that. So anyways, this just sucks. Like, it seems like a lot of effort and I don't want to call it sophisticated, but a lot of effort and time. And following the money, what's the return on investment? You're going to exploit and extort people who were trying to put in for a microloan. Like, what's the goal there? Like, they're already financially suffering where they're requesting microloans. You're going to do what? Just be a jerk? Like that's your move? I don't know who's got free time to just be a jerk, but that's not. I mean, what's your problem, dude? How can these people? How can they sleep at night? Like, oh yeah, really extorted the crap out of that woman today. Job well done. Going to bed. Like, I don't know, man.
Reaches final settlement on 2016 breach. Uber reached a settlement on a 2016 data breach that impacted 57 million passengers and drivers. As part of the settlement, Uber will not be prosecuted for the incident, and it admits it failed to report the incident to the Federal Trade Commission. Uber will also cooperate with the prosecution of its former security chief, Joseph Sullivan, who allegedly attempted to cover up the incident. In September 2018, the company paid $148 million to settle claims with all 50 U.S. states over the incident and agreed to maintain a comprehensive privacy program for 20 years. We'll probably hear more on Sullivan's case as it gets underway, but this appears to end Uber's direct liability.
All right, so this is one of these stories that, if you have infinite money, you can hire infinite lawyers and you can ultimately be found not liable, not guilty, etc. So long story short, 2016, Uber gets hacked, ransomware, data exfil. They're talking with the threat actors. Mandiant was probably called in, honestly. And they pay $140 million or whatever. They pay a substantial ransom. Threat actors, I forget exactly the details. They either keep their mouth shut or they're so horned up about having busted Uber and gotten, a tenth of $1 billion, that they leak it and it gets out. And then Uber has this ugly, ugly stain on their shirt of, basically losing customers and drivers' data, massive data breach, not reporting it. The FTC gets involved, who's like basically consumers' watchdog and protector. And now they've been in like a 6-year lawsuit. And ultimately, they had to apologize to 50 states. They had to pay fines, right? Again, going back to infinite money.
Straight cash, homie.
And the ultimate disposition is basically no criminal charges, no big deal. No big deal. Like, you paid enough money. This is part of where capitalism kind of falls down. It gets a little gross. Yes, CR, they had the hackers sign the NDAs. That's part of the comical part. Dudes, they're criminals. They're already criminals. You think they're going to give one damn about your NDA? Like, the fact that the business at Uber was like, oh no, we need to approach this from a business mindset, a risk reduction. We'll have them sign NDAs. No one will know. It's like, dude, are you joking right now? Have you? What a knucklehead. Anyways, this just shows you that, it's pay to play.
T-Mobile looks to settle 2021 data breach. T-Mobile agreed to make $350 million available as class action settlements for its 2021 data breach that leaked social security numbers, phone numbers, addresses, and driver's license information on over 75 million people. According to documents seen by Reuters, 30% of this will go to attorney's fees, with impacted individuals slated to receive $25 each. T-Mobile also committed to spending an additional $150 million to upgrade data security. As part of the settlement, T-Mobile does not admit guilt. This settlement still needs to be approved by the court and is expected to happen by the end of this year. This week,
I love, okay, so god dang. So here's another story about pay to play. And now consumers get hosed, okay? First of all, T-Mobile, data breach. That sucks. T-Mobile, huge lawsuit. What's the disposition of the lawsuit? Everybody affected, if they fill out the paperwork and everything, get $25. Ooh, right? I'm not saying if I saw $25 on the ground, I wouldn't pick it up. But think about this. Like, this is actually fast moving. 2021 data breach, I'm stunned. Usually it's like typically it's like a 2011, like some type of data breach from Singular, before they got acquired. So this is pretty fast moving. These type of class action lawsuits in the United States, they're like one step above ambulance chasers, where you involved in an accident or a workplace accident, call, this lawyer and we'll get you set up. My client got $1 million, right? Like, these class action lawsuits, man, the lawyers make bank, and the consumers, who are actually the victims who the case is being brought for, they get $25. I remember I went through, I filled out like a Netflix, Walmart class action lawsuit thing years ago. I was going to get $3 and I never even got it. To this day, it was like the biggest waste of time, which is why I have such disdain for these type of stories. You see this, $500 million and you're thinking, yeah, like stick it to the man. Like, this is awesome. Like, I was a victim. I got the letter in the mail. And then you get like $25 if you fill out a ton of paperwork within certain time frames. It's gross. The other thing that I will point out that I do appreciate is that as part of the settlement, T-Mobile had to invest $150 million into securing their infrastructure. Now, I'd love to see the budget. I'll never see it. A lot of ham gets baked into those things, right? Like $150 million doesn't mean that they buy $150 million worth of hardware and plug it in and make it more secure. $150 million is the total budget, right? So now you've got project managers, you've got internal staff, you've got legal, you've got marketing. Like, you got all this, and some of it's warranted, but they'll just bake in all sorts of stuff into it. Travel, and then it's still $150 million. So they will do some improvements that will make things more secure, but it's not a full $150 million. So you got to be mindful of how that budget's going to be carved up. The other and final thing that I will point out about this that just rubs me the wrong way or grinds my gears, to pull a Family Guy reference, as part of the settlement, T-Mobile is allowed to admit that they are not guilty, right? Like, they officially don't admit guilt. It's like, what? $500 million, $150 million. You got to apologize to 50 states. You got to do all this stuff, except you're not guilty. Like, obviously you're guilty, and it's just stupid that part of like the settlement is that they don't admit guilt. I don't know. I know it's a nuanced thing, but it's just, I don't know. All right, so that does it. I'm going to turn the audio on. Let's see what happens. There we go. Hopefully you guys can hear that. That's going to do it for this stream. I want to remind everybody that this Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Simply Cyber Live, a.k.a. the Simply Cyber YouTube channels, we will be welcoming CISO and founder of Sim Monster, Chris Rock, the Australian practitioner who is an innovative thinker, really cool guy. He is one of the top 3. We will be doing the giveaway in a second, Hot Mustard Gas. Chris Rock is one of the 3 best, absolutely appointment viewing speakers of all time. If you're curious who my other 2 are, I will tell you. It is Patrick Wardle and John Strand. Chris Rock, Patrick Wardle, John Strand. Patrick Wardle speaks at Black Hat DEF CON every single year. So if you're going out there this year, check him out. He is the Apple guy. He's basically the guy who does all the security for Apple, former NSA. Just an amazing speaker. I don't care what he's talking about. He could be reading a menu, and I'd be like, yes, Patrick, that's good menu, right? Like, it's just good. And then obviously y'all know John Strand. Chris Rock's only done a few talks, but they're always mind-blowing. Love it. Can't wait to bring him on for the show. Definitely check it out. All right, let's do the World of Haiku drawing. Good luck to everybody. World of Haiku. I'd pull the stream up, but it was like taxing my system. Good luck to everybody who entered the word haiku into chat. Today's winner for World of Haiku is Gerald Wheatley. Gerald Wheatley. Great name, by the way, Gerald. Just want to say, great name. Gerald Wheatley, please connect with me on Discord at simplycyber.io/Discord. simplycyber.io/Discord. If you're not already a member of the Simply Cyber Discord community, and I will get you your license key, and you can get into the World of Haiku with everybody else. Looks like I ran a couple minutes short today, which is perfect. I want to thank everybody. I'm going to engage with chat for a few more minutes, but if you just were here for the Cyber Threat Briefing, thank you very much. Definitely drop a line in chat. Make sure you get credit for the CPEs. We'll be here tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Wednesday Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing. Thank you so much. Now, let me say what's up to a couple people. Hey, Will Reed. Hey, Poner Joe on the West Coast. Loving it. Gregor Litek on LinkedIn. Ahmed Haram. Thanks for the nice words about the stream. Shane Prevost. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If you get the World of Haiku, Shane, I'd be curious how your kids like it. I plan on playing it and then getting my son involved, 10-year-old, and see how he fares on it. Yeah, Alex Goodwin. Little bias. There are many Geralds running around, so I always, tip a cup of coffee. Hey, little nod to Gerald. Thanks, Will Reed. Yeah, smash that like button if you did get value. The value of hitting the like button basically tells the algorithm that people liked the stream, and it will suggest the stream to others, which is cool because hopefully the algorithm's good enough to know that only people that are digging into cybersecurity stuff would enjoy that. Poner Joe, DEF CON this weekend. DEF CON is the second week of August, like August 9th, 10th, 11th. I will be in Vegas. I'm pretty busy at the first half of Black Hat. I arrive Tuesday. I am on a panel discussion with Trend Micro is hosting it. I haven't told anyone this yet. I've been asked to be on a panel for Trend Micro. They're hosting a talk. I don't know who else is on the panel, but the topic is cybersecurity in the metaverse. So I'll be on that panel. It is on August 10th, I believe, at 9 a.m. Vegas time, which I think is Pacific. I've also asked Trend if they wanted to push, since I'll be on the panel, I would be willing to have their feeds pushed into the Simply Cyber feeds. So basically the Simply Cyber YouTube channel and my LinkedIn channels would co-stream the Trend Micro feed, which I'm hoping. I mean, obviously, A, I'm on the panel, so I feel like it applies. But B, it would be interesting if, they have a really great production, so then it's even cooler, right? Yeah, I will try to have it streamed, Poner Joe. We'll see. Maybe I'll try to work in some type of, hidden message or something, or wear, a Team Replay shirt, or I'll probably wear a blazer, honestly. It's hot as crap in Vegas. But I feel like if I'm on a panel, a big panel on stage at Black Hat, I should wear at least a polo, if not a button down, or a polo and a suit jacket. But guys, it's 100 degrees and sweltering. Wearing a suit jacket's not my jam. It's not my jam. All right. Thanks, Hamza Mufti. Yeah, it's my pleasure. We'll go a couple more minutes. Like I said, I have been streaming, obviously, ThreatGen Red versus Blue, which has been really fun. I started streaming World of Haiku yesterday. My gaming rig, it's not a gaming rig, it's my work laptop, definitely pushing its limits here. So I think I might be getting a new computer, which no one in this stream probably cares about. But what it would mean for you is that my stream would be would have less production issues, right? Maybe the audio gets sorted out officially. Maybe things don't get chunky when I switch tabs and stuff like that. Cool dry fit polo and you'll be good. All right, you know what? Kimberly lives in Miami. She knows a thing or two about closing in the heat. So that's how it rolls. Hey, B. Cole, shout out to the SC team for sure. Tom Bishop's in the hizzy. Jess Bishop, love it. Hashtag team live. Yeah, so Joshua B's wife's Facebook account got hacked. $50. Oh, what a jerk. Ended up deleting the Facebook account. That sucks. Joshua, did your wife have MFA on the account? I'm kind of curious. i9, 128 gig RAM, 3060 graphics card. All right. I've got a... Joel Belton, will you DM me those specs? Base Case sent me some specs too, but I'd like to collect some information. Whew. All right. I think that's going to do it. I'm trying to think of some interesting... Oh, one other thing to share with you guys, and then I'm going to boogie out of here. By the way, obviously, the gaming computer's got to have retro synthwave color schemes, right? Like hot pinks and light blues, kind of Miami Vice style. That's my jam. Okay, one other thing that's really, really cool that I want to share with you guys, okay? In September... You guys know that I work for ThreatGen, obviously, and on Wednesdays I play the Red versus Blue cybersecurity simulation game. And some Wednesdays I play against another human, right? I recently played Eric Taylor and lost. I recently played Brandon Poole and lost. I played Josh Mason and won. Okay, so these head-to-head matches are really, really fun. And Clint and I, CEO over at ThreatGen, had an idea. Let's do a tournament. So I have reached out and invited 7 other participants. I will be one of the contestants for an 8-person tournament that will be live streamed, and it'll go over the course of a week, and there'll be leaderboards and brackets and like March Madness, except cybersecurity gaming and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited. I'm in charge of the entire event. So I've been heavily involved in like organization, logistics, marketing, gameplay, obviously. So if you're interested in that, definitely, look forward to it. I will be sharing with all of you. I hope to win it. Obviously, but whoever does win it, will be exciting for everybody. So stay tuned for more information on that, obviously. Thanks, Hamza. My budget, I'm thinking $1,500 for the computer. I've got to talk to my employer and see if they want to pony up some straight cash, homie. If they want to throw down some cash money and give me like a quantum computing rig, that would be cool. Maybe I could sign up for the heated seats version on this machine for $8 a month. Get the subscription model. If you guys watched the threat briefing yesterday, BMW's gouging their customers with a subscription model for heated seats. All right, guys. I really enjoy talking to you. Thanks for having the cup of coffee with me. We did the daily cyber threat briefing. I hope you got value out of it. Obviously, as I mentioned before, hit the like button. But more importantly, if you think someone in your network would benefit from the daily threat briefing, which I think many, many people do benefit from it. I know I personally benefit from it as well. I am a practitioner in addition to doing all this standing up and waving my arms around and being spicy. Share with them the daily threat briefing. Also, check out the simplycyber.io website, as I just relaunched it the other day, and I think it's pretty smooth and pretty cool. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. All the best to all of you. Thank you. Have a good one.